I'm here in Chickamauga, Georgia at the Chickamauga battlefield. This battlefield was extremely important to the Civil War. It was the first major battle fought in the state of Georgia. It also had the second most number of casualties, next to Gettysburg. This is usually one of the main areas of interest at the Chickamauga battlefield. This is Wilder Tower, built in honor of John T. Wilder, who was a colonel of the Union Army. It was built in 1892, after the Civil War. This is something that a lot of people don't really realize, is that Wilder Tower was built after the Civil War. It was not used during the Civil War. It was not built for the war. It was built after. Now, the past few years, ever since I've been coming to this area, Wilder Tower has almost always been locked. But this came mainly in 2004 after a woman had committed suicide by jumping off the 85-foot tower. Now, this is something that we are starting to see more here at the Chickamauga battlefield. Even though this was an area that was a significant loss to the Union, we're seeing more monuments erected in honor of the Union. Now, I believe I did say Wilder Tower was built in 1892. Construction didn't start until 1892. And here's a photo of Wilder Tower in 1899. And it was completed in 1903, so it took quite a few years for the tower to be completed. Beforehand, these signs didn't look anything like this. They're almost like a copper, dirty copper kind of look. And that's the same as the cannons. Now, the cannons were this like Statue of Liberty green, but they've since been painted, and I think now they frown upon people sitting on them. But when you look at old photos, I've seen many photos of my family, and you see a bunch of kids just piled on top of the cannons. And right here is the site of one of the homes that was burned during the battle. So what I'm seeing from these signs is the blue and yellow signs are going to provide information relating to the Union, and the red and gray signs are signs that will provide information about the Confederacy. This one on here doesn't even really say Confederacy, it just mentions General Longstreet and the left-wing Army of Tennessee. Some of these markers on here too, these will say C for Confederacy. On the blue and yellow ones you'll see US. This is actually the usual color of the cannons. This is what I was used to seeing as a kid every time I would come here. We're right here at the Brotherton House. It was home to a farmer and his family, George Brotherton. He lived here with his wife and kids. One of his sons actually played an important role that led to the Confederacy's victory at the Battle of Chickamauga. George's son Tom knew every pig trail in the area, and with that knowledge, Tom was recruited by General Longstreet to serve as a scout. Not so sure if I would like living here, let alone living in the 1800s or living in the middle of a battlefield. While building their home, I don't believe the Brothertons really took into account the amount of sound they would get with their house so close to the highway.